What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to show you how to turn a boring old shower into a relaxing tropical rain. Alright, so here's what you're going to need.
You don't need very many tools at all for this project, just a couple wrenches or vice grips, regular clear PVC cement, and thread tape. 1 1/2-inch brass elbow, 5 2-foot long sections of 1/2-inch PVC, 7 1/2-inch PVC T-fittings, 3 1/2-inch PVC elbow fittings, 1 1/2-inch female to female PVC adapter. One side has to be threaded, the other side can be smooth to insert the pipe. And 9 cut-off sections of the 1/2-inch PVC pipe. Don't have to be exact for size, but I wouldn't go any more than 1.5 inches. 2 1/2-inch by 3/8 MIP fittings. You're also going to need some braided nylon tubing with an inner diameter of 3/8, as well as 2 hose clamps. And 1 1/2-inch threaded shower diverter. This one has 1 inlet and 2 outlets. Before we start cementing any of this PVC together, you're going to want to lay it out like this to make sure that we have all the materials we need before we begin. Alright, so what we're first going to do is start off with one of the side rails. Going to take a corner piece. And it's really simple to cement these together. Just take your simple PVC cement, a little bit inside. Stick them together. And keep doing that all the way down. Now one trick to make sure these are aligned so that they're going to fit on the rails properly. Press them both down against a flat, hard surface. Now it won't take very long at all for this to start hardening up so that they won't be able to come apart anymore. But still, you're going to want to be careful with it while you're putting the rest of them on because you don't want to snap it. There we go. First side's done, move on to the other side. Alright, so this rail is going to be set up a little differently, as in there's only going to be 1 elbow, but same process to put it all together. Alright, so this is the last T-fitting. So this is not going on the way the other ones did. It's actually going to be going on like that, right as a cap on the end. So now that we have both of the end rails built, we're going to be taking the one that has the T-fitting at the end. Alright, so we're going to want to PVC cement the end of the T-fitting that is opposite of the rest of them. Now take your female to female adapter. Alright, so now we're at the point where we can add the 2-foot sections of PVC pipe. Real quick, before I put this together, I just want to say, make sure the PVC pipe that you get can handle the water pressure that's going to be going through the system. The type I got can go up to 600 psi, pounds per square inch, so this will be fine for what we're doing. And since we aligned these so well when we were putting it all together, this next part is going to be really simple. All you have to do is cement it all in place. I am going to start with one side at a time to make it a little easier. Alright, and I'll do the same with this side. Alright, so I would suggest taking a rubber mallet or a piece of wood and just banging these down a little bit to make sure they're in there flush. Once that's all done, lay it on a flat surface and make sure it's not twisted at all. In my case, looks good. Alright, so if you did decide you do want to paint this, now would be the time to do so before we move on to the next step. Alright, so now that we're waiting on the paint to dry, we might as well just put some thread tape on anything that has threads on them. I like to go around about 2 to 3 times just to make sure it's going to seal properly. So now we're going to want to start attaching some of the plumbing pieces together. So if you see, this is the nozzle that controls what direction the water is flowing. Opposite of that is where we're going to want to put our elbow joint. Now once we have that, we're going to want to put our 1/2 inch by MIP fitting on the elbow joint. Tighten that down as much as you can. We're also going to want to put some thread tape on the pipe coming out of the wall for the shower head. Alright, so at this point we can install our diverter valve. And then we can reinstall our regular shower head. Okay, so now we're going to start by prepping our PVC pipe. I like to run a little masking tape down the entire length of it, just so we can mark out where we want to drill the holes, and if the drill bit were to slip, it's not going to scratch up all the paint. Okay, so now that we have it all taped off, we're just going to take our tape measure and we're going to mark it every inch. Okay, so where you mark all the spots to drill doesn't have to be exact, but as you're doing the actual drilling, you have to make sure you stay on top of the rail itself. And you don't want to be going in as an angle, you want to be going in straight down, because if you go in an angle, the water is going to spray and it could spray outside the shower, and you don't want that. Easiest way to do this is with a drill press. I don't have one on hand right now, so I'm going to be doing this with a regular hand drill. Wish me luck. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start drilling the holes. Basically, I got the smallest drill bit I could find in my kit. The reason why you want it small is because the smaller the hole is, the more water pressure you're going to have. On the other side of that is, the more holes you have, the more the water pressure is going to drop. Okay, so you're going to want to start drilling your holes very slowly, and again, you want to go in as straight as possible. Alright, so once we have all the holes drilled, we can get it ready to be installed. Alright, so I didn't want to go too in depth as to how I actually mounted it to my ceiling. I have a drop down ceiling and I live in an apartment, so I don't intend on staying here forever. Kind of limits the options I have for actually mounting this thing. Basically what I did was I took some aluminum angle iron and cut out little notches in it. That way it goes across the ceiling, and then I drilled some holes and used some coat hangers to just mount that all in place. Now they do sell actual PVC mounting equipment at your local hardware store. If you have, say, sheetrock or plywood on your ceiling, then I would recommend going that route and not with the angle iron. But there are plenty of different ways that you could actually mount it to the ceiling, so I didn't really want to go too in depth with that. Alright, and at this point, now that we have the shower diverter attached and the shower head mounted, we can connect the two. Alright, let's test her out. One small leak, but that's easy to fix by just me tightening it up. Alright guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe. If you want to go the extra mile and help support us a little more, we are on Patreon now. Link will be in the description below. And as always, I have one question for you. Will you survive? Blair, these have to go in the bathroom. What are you doing? It's not real grass, you can't eat it. Kevin! I need someone to shut off my camera! Fuck. Where's my shampoo? Would you fucking shut off my camera, goddammit?
It's kind of creepy.
You're a dick.